In Port Charles, truth is the most valuable and most dangerous commodity. On General Hospital, the web of lies and deception keeps spinning as the layers are peeled back, revealing long-buried secrets with devastating consequences. While suspicion had swirled around Portia Robinson for possibly altering Michael Corinthos' test results in a high-profile medical scandal, the truth is far more twisted than anyone expected. Portia didn't touch Michael's results. But she did change Drew Kane's, and the reason why will blow Port Charles apart. It all began when Willow fainted during a family meeting at the Quartermain mansion, sending the entire family into a panic. After being rushed to GH, everyone expected a simple explanation: stress, maybe a lingering complication from her past leukemia battle. But her doctors found inconsistencies in her blood work, triggering a re-examination of Michael's recent genetic screening. Michael had undergone a series of medical tests months ago as a precautionary measure due to his family history and Willow's previous health crisis. The initial results had shown him clear. But new red flags in Willow's updated panel called everything into question. At first, fingers pointed to a clerical error, or worse, deliberate tampering. That's when Portia, one of GH's most respected doctors, was dragged into the storm. Chief of Staff Terry Randolph initiated a quiet investigation. She'd received an anonymous tip that Portia had manipulated test results. The assumption? She did it to protect Trina from another round of Corinthos family drama. Michael, after all, is entangled in the underworld through Sonny, despite his corporate image. But the deeper Terry dug, the more inconsistencies emerged, not in Michael's file, but in Drew's. And what was most alarming? The date of the alteration coincided with a day Drew visited the hospital for a minor injury after saving Ava Jerome from a mugging near the Metro Court. Routine tests were run, standard procedure, but the records indicate someone accessed and amended the results less than 24 hours later. The access point? Portia Robinson's login. Why would Portia alter Drew Kane's results? The answer lay not in Drew's health, but in his genetics. Portia, suspicious for months after conversations she'd overheard between Curtis and Marshall, had run a private comparison of Drew's DNA against another patient's, her daughter Trina. The results had left her stunned. While Trina had always believed Curtis to be her biological father, a truth Portia had eventually admitted after years of secrecy, there was a possibility Drew Kane might share a paternal link to her in some capacity. Not as her father, but through another connection in the Kane lineage. A sibling, perhaps? An uncle? But the deeper Portia went, the more panicked she became. If Drew's true genetic makeup became public, it could expose not only a medical cover-up, but dredge up classified Navy intelligence operations, thanks to Drew's past as a military operative and memory map subject. Her decision was swift. Alter Drew's hospital profile to erase genetic markers and protect not just her family, but maybe even national security. Terry confronted Portia in her office late at night, files in hand, eyes blazing. "Tell me this is a mistake." Portia remained calm, almost eerily so. "It's not Michael's file. You're chasing the wrong theory." "Then who?" Portia closed her laptop.
"Drew."
"But I did it to prevent something bigger. Something that could hurt more than just our hospital." Terry was horrified. "You know this is grounds for termination, possibly prosecution." Portia's voice dropped. "If the truth gets out, it's not just my license on the line. It's Drew's entire identity. And it's tied to people who don't want it uncovered." Word began to leak, first to Carly, then Sam. Carly confronted Drew at the Metro Court pool, her voice a whisper, but searing with betrayal. "You told me everything about your Navy missions, about Jason, about Scout. How could you not tell me you might be Trina's uncle?" Drew looked genuinely blindsided. "What are you talking about?" And that's when he realized he didn't know. Carly, enraged at being caught in another storm of secrets, decided to take action. She went to Brick and begged him to look into Drew's military history, particularly his DNA coding tied to Project Chimera, the shadow op that gave Drew his original memory imprint. Meanwhile, Sam and Scout visited Drew, who was now undergoing new blood work under hospital surveillance. Sam insisted on being there for the testing. Scout, too young to understand the details, just looked up and asked, "Daddy, are you okay?" Drew smiled weakly. "I will be, sweetheart. I just need to remember who I really am." At GH, Portia's career was unraveling fast. With the hospital board breathing down her neck and the WSB sending investigators, she broke down in front of Liz. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I was trying to protect Trina. If the wrong people knew she shared DNA with someone tied to covert ops, she'd be a target. I've already nearly lost her once." Liz, torn between friendship and ethics, urged her to come clean. "You can't protect Trina by lying. The truth will always catch up." Portia turned to the hospital window, where the wind battered against the glass. "And when it does, it destroys everything." As Drew waited for confirmation on his real medical profile, his brain, perhaps triggered by the recent tests, began recalling fragments. He saw glimpses of a child with eyes like Trina's, a woman crying in a military hospital, a man in uniform saying, "We had to split them up for their safety." Could he have had a sibling? Or worse, could he have fathered a child during a memory wipe mission and not known? He rushed to Sam's place and laid it all out. "I think there's more than just altered DNA. I think someone used me, my body, my identity, without my consent." Sam's face paled. Like what they did to Jason, Trina, having heard whispers from Ava and Spencer, stormed into Portia's house. "Mom, what did you do?" Portia tried to remain composed, but Trina's fury would not be calmed. "You changed Drew's records? Because you think he might be family? What are you not telling me?" Portia hesitated, then whispered, "I don't think Curtis is your father. I don't even think Marcus Taggart is. There's a chance, just a chance, that Drew Kane could be connected to you through Project Chimera." Trina was speechless. "You lied to me my whole life. You said the lies were over." Portia's voice cracked. "This lie saved your life." Trina backed away, horrified. "No. You just took it away." Curtis, reeling from the news, felt his world collapse. His recent paralysis, recovery, and rekindled relationship with Portia all crumbled beneath the weight of one secret. He visited Drew in the GH chapel. "If you're Trina's uncle, if Portia lied about who Trina's father is again, I don't know who I am anymore." Drew placed a hand on Curtis's shoulder. "Let's find out. Together." And so began the unlikely alliance, two men bonded by betrayal, determined to uncover the truth. GH ran an official triple comparison: Drew, Trina, and an archived sample from a Navy facility linked to Project Chimera. The result? Drew wasn't Trina's father, but he was her biological half-brother, which meant Trina's father was Victor Cassadine. That bombshell sent shockwaves. Victor Cassadine, long presumed dead, again, had conducted a covert surrogacy operation involving Drew during his memory wipe. Drew's sperm had been used to impregnate a woman from the WSB who died giving birth. That child? Trina Robinson. Portia had found out through a leak in an old Cassadine file when Victor briefly kidnapped her during his last return. She kept it secret ever since. With Victor's DNA now a matter of record, and Drew's connection proven, Trina was thrust into a legacy of lies and danger she never asked for. Carly, shattered by Drew's new connection to the Cassadines, questioned whether their relationship could survive another twist. Sam, worried for Scout's safety, demanded full WSB protection. Curtis, having lost both his wife and daughter to lies, spiraled into a depressive haze, unsure if he would ever walk again, emotionally or physically. Portia faced suspension from GH, with Terry forced to make the call. But the biggest shift? Trina, who declared she would no longer live under anyone's protection. "If I'm a Cassadine, I deserve to know everything. And if you all think you can lie to protect me, you don't know me at all." Trina returned to Windmere, staring out at the water where her great-uncle once stood. She found an old notebook Victor left behind, a ledger of codes, names, and experiments. A message was scrawled inside. "The Cassadine legacy isn't in blood. It's in who controls the truth." She closed the book. "I guess it's my turn." Portia didn't alter Michael's results, because the real secret was far worse. In trying to shield her daughter from one lie, she unleashed a dozen others. And in Port Charles, where every secret has a price, this one could cost everyone their lives.